Good evening, everyone. Let me turn on my camera here. Give me a second here. Can you see me, everybody?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hi,
Yes.
good evening,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
All right.
Good evening, Sudish.
All right. Make yourself comfortable. If you can turn on your camera, you can. If you don't want, that's totally all right. Make yourself comfortable. Welcome to the second session of ServiceNow IT Business Analyst career. And my name is Sudish Anand. I'm an IT consultant, and we have an IT training and staffing company. And we provide IT services, staffing services, and training services in US and Canada. And I see there are a lot of new people over here. I think Mr. Syed, you're new here. Syed Hussaini, were you there the last session, sir?
No,
All right,
actually,
welcome to this session.
thank you.
All right, and did you get the first session recording by any chance?
No, actually, I just got the email regarding the second
Is it?
session, so
Okay.
I have just received the notification.
Okay, no problem. I see there's a lot of new guys over here. What I want to suggest you is my assistant, her name is Thea. I think she's on the call. So what she's going to do is all our sessions are recorded, and we will be sending the recordings to your email. You might want to check your spam. There are times the email goes to your spam, so please check it out. You will get it tomorrow morning. Okay, so I want to welcome everybody. Randy. Randy, is this the first time you're coming in, Randy? All right. Mamudu, I know Neharika. Hi, Neharika. Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, hi Sudish. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Which city are you logged in from?
Yeah, I'm from Toronto, Ontario.
You're from Toronto. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of introduction about yourself? Why are you looking for BA? A little bit about your background, and what are you looking for today?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. My name is Niharika. I'm from Toronto, Ontario. And coming to my background, I have done my bachelor's in computer science. I have worked as a customer service representative here in Canada, and I'm looking to start my career in IT as a business analyst, so that I have joined this session.
Thank you, Narika. Happy to have you here. To move
Thank
in
you.
as an IT service business analyst in ServiceNow, you don't need to have a prior IT background. I want to make that very clear. You don't require any coding skills. Okay.
Yeah.
This training has two phases. First is the business analyst training, which I provide, and then we coach you and train you on the ServiceNow platform. Okay.
Yeah.
And we do both over here. We'll help you. Specialization is very important. Okay. So thank you. Welcome here. Did you have an opportunity to go through the first session by any chance?
Yeah. Yes, I have gone through it.
Okay, wonderful. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to help you. One of our candidates, Karan, he got a job in just 3 weeks from the training. And right now, as you speak, we are clearing his background verification and helping him transition. He got a job in TCS. He did his BA training and service training from us. Only 3 weeks. He got a job in the very first interview. He has left a latest review also. You can look it up in Google, and I might invite him Friday to our session to share his experience. I will invite him on Friday. You all can talk to him. He did his Scrum Master certification and CSA certified service admin certification and cleared his interview in the first round. So I'm excited for you. So nothing is impossible. You just have to have an open mind, and I can coach you and help you to transition to this job. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, sure. That's good to hear. Thank you.
Welcome. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah Fofana. How are you?
Hi.
Hello,
Nice
Sarah.
to
How are you
meet
doing?
you. Yeah, I wasn't there on the first session. My name is Sarah Fofana. I'm
Oh,
a
you were
teacher.
there? Okay.
No, I
Okay, go
wasn't.
ahead. Go ahead.
I wasn't. This is the first time coming for me. Yes, I didn't receive message. I just received for today, and yeah. And I'm a teacher here in Alberta, and I would like to become data analysis. I don't have any background.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say data analyst, guys, what I'm trying to do is it's important for me to know you all because even though in my trainings there are usually 10 to 15 people, but I know my students one-on-one. Okay, I know their strengths and their weakness. I'm very engaging kind of trainer, and I want to tell you that Sarah, and to everybody, I got 10 plus experience in IT and a management experience of 20 years. I've done many roles as a product owner, business analyst, project manager, and I specialize in a technology in guideware. It's an insurance sector, and we in this company we provide help people move into cloud engineering, cybersecurity, cloud security, and ServiceNow Business Analyst. So we do only careers which are in demand and where people can go into job within 0 to 4 months. Okay. So Sarah, you told me data analyst.
Yes.
So what are the tools are you familiar with?
Nothing. Just my laptop, my computer, to my work. That's it.
Okay.
Because
so I mean, like, did you go to a training to learn data analyst?
What you say?
Did you go to a training to learn data analyst skills?
Never.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So, but I want to tell you, Sarah, this is a IT business analyst career. Okay. Just want to give you an understanding. Yeah. Just want to let you know there are two kinds of BA jobs are there. One is based on the sectors where you choose banking sector, telecom, retail, supply chain. That's you can only move into those careers where you have worked in this domain and you have deep business knowledge. Only then you can go in. The shortcut route to get into a BA is to become a product-based knowledge of BA, which is more in demand, like Salesforce BA, Pega BA, banking app, Guideware BA. So
may I ask a question here?
You might want to wait for a minute. I'll be coming back to you. If you have a question, please use the emoji, the raise hand, and I will circle back to you. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So welcome. So what I want to tell you is there are two kinds of BAs. There are 100 types, but just to make it simple, one is based on sector, another one is based on application. Application-based BA will pay you better. It has a better job security, and it's a future career. And the chances of you getting into a job in 0 to 4 months is very, very high. And that's why I provide ServiceNow BA training, and I'm only provider in North America. There is no other provider. Okay, ServiceNow is a cloud-based IT platform, which is a future career. 80% of the Fortune 500 companies are using this platform, and for the next 10 years, this career is in boom. Having a ServiceNow stamp in your resume guarantees you a very high salary. Most of my candidates, they transition to jobs somewhere around 95 to 110. In US, people get jobs between 110 to 140. That's I know there are people from US and Canada, both sides here, right? Yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
But I have a question for you. My last question for you it is how long, if I'm interested to do the business, how long it will take for me to do it that?
You will go 0 to 100 in 2 months.
Yes.
Okay. What I want to tell you is a lot of people come around and ask me, why can't I learn from Udemy? Why can't I learn from YouTube? It's not how easy it looks like. You need a mentor.
I don't want to do that, honestly.
Yeah, you need a mentor to go in. I tried doing it. It didn't work for me. Okay.
This is
So
what I need.
yeah. See, BA, there's a lot of notes and a lot of contents and definitions in everywhere you'll find. These contents and definitions are not going to get you a job. You got to understand that. The people who are going to interview you, they're going to have 20 years of experience. 5 minutes, they will know whether you are a BA or not. Okay. So you need to have proper capstone knowledge. You need to know what are the different kind of projects are there. What are the key skills required. For you to move into a BA career, there are three things important. A good ATS friendly resume, good interview handling skills, and you will be very good to explain the projects. Okay. Based on latest ServiceNow projects and infrastructure projects. I will be delivering you all those things. I'm just going to explain in a nutshell. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right. Before I come to you, Nikita, I'm going to take a question from Mr. Syed. And Syed, thank you for waiting. I really appreciate your patience right there. Okay, Syed, let me know what is your question.
You're welcome. Actually, my concern is that you are saying that this is a business analyst IT service now. Am I right?
Yes, sir. It is a ServiceNow based IT business analyst training.
So it is, I mean, more towards like I am engineer because they require these kind of skills in business analysts. Usually they require Jira, Confluence, Power BI,
Yeah,
Tableau,
yeah,
and SQL.
yeah. So what is your question?
So my question is that do we require these basics knowledge? I mean, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Jira, Confluence, and besides that, we are working on ServiceNow, or we are more focused towards the ServiceNow?
Your question is amazing question, but this is where a lot of people will get tricked. I'm going to clear this out, and this is for everybody. You will see a lot of job roles which has requirement of SQL, Power BI, Python, whatever, and they would have mentioned business analyst. Have you noticed that? How many people have noticed that?
I do.
Anybody else notice that?
Yes.
And that could have confused you a little bit. Then you see a different other kind of BAs. I'll tell you one thing, make it very clear for you.
Me
BA
too.
is yeah, yeah. Let me
When I
make this
see
very
that,
clear.
I
Yeah,
think about data engineer. So
yeah, yeah. Okay, let me explain you this, and this is very important. There's a lot of confusion in the job market. You got to understand the people who are posting these jobs, they're HRs. They're not technical guys. Okay, many times they don't even know what's going on. They're not even approved by the managers. Okay, so I'll tell you that there are BA, there are different kind of BA roles. As I said, there are BA with data analyst skills, which is what which Syed was talking about, which requires data analyst tools where like Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, R, and Python. We also do this training in our company too. Mainly, this job is actually a data analyst job, okay, which is misrepresented as BA. Many times, data analysts and BA roles, they think they, it crosses paths, but it's not like that. In a data analyst world, you will be in a meetings, you understand a business problem. They're saying that, okay, you know what, this particular product is not doing well. Let's find out what's going on. And they're asking you, Syed, if you're a data analyst, they're asking you, Syed, could you please look into it? So what Syed will do, he's a data analyst skills. He knows these tools. He will go into the historic data. He'll identify what has gone wrong, and he will go ahead and publish it. So he's dealing with data and his data analyst skills in research ability to solve it. That's what data analyst. That's where you need these tools. The IT business analyst role, which we are talking about deployment, software development, deployment of technologies, building features, right? That's a different role. We need specialized. That's what we are training here. For a BA, in our role, in our training, what is a good to have skill? So does BA does not require any data analyst skills? No. BA does require a very minimal basic level data analyst skills like SQL. We might sometimes do some analysis. We might want to extract some data from a data set. If you're in a project where there is no data analyst, then you are extracting data from a SQL server. We also provide SQL training. Also, we can share those recordings, basic things which you need to know to how to pull a query. That's all. But for a BA, Excel, handling Excel, Word document, it's very important. From the data side, if you know SQL, that's more than enough. Syed, am I answering your question, Syed?
Yes, I got your point. Um,
Adding on to your question, Syed, I want to add you a little bit more. Your question is a great question, but what I want to tell you, we should not get confused. Look at the job description. If it's all about data analyst tools, it is not an IT business analyst. It's a data analyst role. Okay, the instead of data analyst, they put business analyst, which flips a lot of people. Oh my God, now I need to know all these tools to become a BA? The answer is no. You don't have to. You only need to know SQL. We can get you help in our training company. We give you free training on that. It's all included. Okay, so we know exactly what it takes. ServiceNow. Why am I talking ServiceNow? Because we always want to make sure that your resume is trending. If you're in US or Canada, please understand, if your skill is not trending, that's why you're not getting phone calls for jobs. If your skill is trending, you don't have to worry about jobs will come looking for you. currently in the ServiceNow space, there's a lot of deployment going on HRSD module. There is a high demand and very low supply. So in my strategy, what I do is I only train people on technologies which are in demand. That is why the first part of the training will be BA. Second part of the training will be ServiceNow training. You can either learn self-paced if you want to go fast into the job market, or if you want to say, hey, I want a mentor to help me, you can go into in-class training. And in-class training can increase your training time by 2 more months. But if you go in a self-paced training and a remote trainer support, you can finish the same training within 2 months when I finish my BA. Have I made it myself clear, Sayed?
Yes, perfect. It's perfectly clear for me. Can I ask one more question, if you don't mind?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So my question is that, if you don't mind, which BA is more like in terms of pay, which is more better? And secondly, whenever I apply for any job, they ask me for at least 5 to 8 years of experience. So if I don't have any experience, how could I be able to get the calls and the job?
That's a very good question, sir. That's a very good question. Experience are important, but there are ways to solve it. Either you give experience or you show strong certifications. There are the only two ways of going into the job market. This kind of questions are very different for everybody. It is not a blanket approach. Okay, based on your past experience, we make transferable resumes for you with our training capstone projects, which you can justify in your projects. New careers, when you take new careers like ServiceNow, they need very basic minimum experience. They're very high on certifications. So we are helping people to get certified with support of capstone projects. You can take care of it, and we do a lot of marketing with our vendors too. We do have a separate marketing system. It's a paid support. We also provide separate support. I would recommend you, Sayed, to get on a one-on-one phone call so that I can get to understand your prior experience, and based on that, I can guide you how to transition to the job market. Okay?
Perfect. I appreciate this call. I mean, it's quite interesting for me. And
Okay.
please proceed. Go ahead.
But I can tell you that I have a solution for you. Okay? So wait for my phone call. Okay? And there is
Sure.
a good news coming your way. Okay? All right. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Nikita. Hi, Nikita. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. What is your question?
Yeah, good evening. So my two questions are, I have not received the webinar. Yes, the recording. I don't know everybody has
Yeah.
received it or not yet. And
Yeah.
the other thing I was wanting to ask is, like, I have background with the SQLs done before in there, and I
Okay.
thought you were saying that you have a recording which you can share with. That would be great, so that I can just have a look at it and brush my
Yeah.
skills here as well. Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Once you join a program, you have access to everything. Don't worry. Okay. You get to learn one more program for free, by the way. So it's everything is you have access to everything in our company. Don't
Yeah,
worry
I'm
about it.
waiting for the webinar so that I
Okay.
can have a one-on-one conversation with you later on, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Hey, Tia, can
Thank
you hear
you.
me? Yeah. You're welcome. Tia, you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, Tia. Tia is my assistant. Can you please send the webinar recording to the folks who have said they have not
Yeah.
received it? And for the folks who have come for the first time, please send them the webinar recording and the first session recording, okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So, before I go into session, I just want to welcome everybody. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Arti. Hi, Hemagini and Ari. Everybody over here. Welcome, everybody. And let's go into the session. Today, we are in the second session. I do want to tell you, I take the first few sessions very lightly, and just to give you a little bit of warm up. And as we start going into the depth, we will start learning all the tools and everything what a BA needs to do. I want you to understand this is a BA training, and we want to specialize in ServiceNow. So, which means that in the interview, the ratio is 75% ServiceNow questions, 25% BA. But even the 25% BA, my knowledge which I'm giving you, it's equivalent to a consultant which has got 5 years of experience. Your chances of getting job out of this training is it's 100%. Okay, but all you need to do is have an open mind and to learn this technology and this framework. Okay, BA career is not going on. ServiceNow is a future career. It is running in cloud, which means it is a future career already in your resume. Plus, they are also going into AI engineering. In another 2 months, we are going to create. We are also going to do Gen AI training as well. So you all can come back and upgrade yourself, and I can give a free recording to all of you. All right. With that, I'm going to start today's session, and we'll do a backtrack of a little bit of what we covered yesterday. And I do have some case studies for you guys to solve. So just giving a backtrack a little bit. Yesterday, we talked about what is business analysis, how they engage with the team, and what is solution. And we talked about what is current state, future state in detail. And then I will talk about project today. And then we also discussed a little bit about business ecosystem. And then we also talked about how to approach, business domain. Okay, we were talking about that, and what kind of documentations can be done. And then eventually we talked about cost triangle. You all of them in the first session. Okay, thank you. All right, so before I go ahead, I just want to ask you an open question. I do want to tell you this is a controlled atmosphere. We're not to judge anybody. We are all learning from each other. I'm here. I'm your principal mentor. I'm going to guide you all. I want to ask you, for the new guys who are here, what do you think is the business analyst role is all about? What have you heard about it? What were you thinking the BA role is all about? Uh, Give me a one line answer, please. Raise your hand and answer your. I would be glad to know what is that you're thinking about.
Requirement gathering.
Very good. Requirement gathering. Okay. Thank you, Syed. Who else?
A BA is an intermediary between the organization and the customers. Yeah.
Wonderful, Cynthia. Wonderful. Very good. So we do requirements gathering. BA is the intermediary between the business and the stakeholder. Two of you guys, you pretty much covered everything. What else? Anything else that is lingering you think BA jobs do?
Understand the business problem, I think.
Wonderful, wonderful, Arti. You nailed it. Understanding the business problem, and that's where we're coming in. I want to tell you this training is going to be as real time as possible. I'm going to talk to you. I will be preparing you for the job. The way I prepare you is I will prepare you for the job, because I'm confident that when you prepare for your job, you can ace your interview. Because what is going to happen is you might start at a 0, but you will go 100 in another 2 months. And my role is to make you understand and think and talk like a BA. So I'm going to give you a lot of information, a lot of moving parts, and I'm going to help you understand in a real time scenario what you need to do. Because by just going to a training which does not give you a real time understanding, it's going to set you up for failure. It's very important for you to understand how to do as a BA job real time. What do I do in various circumstances? It's very important for you to know, and that's what we're going to learn. As a BA, one of the most important roles is what we do is problem solving. Okay, we problem solve. Okay, we try to understand what is the business problem. We're going to have a case study today, and we work in a projectile atmosphere called uh, software development lifecycle. In a software development lifecycle, we have various activities. Back in the days, all we did was collated requirements, deliver the requirements to the developers, and boom. And after that, we wait till everything is developed and tested, and then we go and help with the deployment. There was a lot of documentation, but we are working in a certain phase. But these days, we are working in a software development lifecycle called as Agile Scrum framework. Okay, guys, times have changed. Our documentation part, if somebody is thinking that there's a lot of documentation, I do want to tell you the good news is the documentation is reduced by 90%. There is only 10% documentation. Work is more easy, but more dynamic right now. You are considered as a star of the project. People look up to you. People see you that you're knowledgeable. You're the one who are dealing with the staff. You're the one who are dealing with your subject matter expert with the software with the project delivery team. So you need to be confident. okay? And you need to know how to manage the people, okay? I think Nikita has a question. Hi, Nikita, go ahead.
Yeah. So my question here is, when you're talking about documentation here, we are talking about the in-house documentation or the outsourced documentation?
See, when I say documentation for BAs, we're talking about requirements documentation. We're
Sure.
talking about requirements documentation. Our only job as a BA when it comes to documentation is understanding the client requirements, documenting them, analyzing them, making sure that the requirements are refined, understood by everybody, and then it goes into development. All right. The requirements has got a logic side to it and a physical side to it. As a business analyst, we are looking to start to think more from the user point of view. Okay, we think from the user point of view, we document it from the user point of view, and when we help the developers understand what the users want and what kind of technology can be built to satisfy the user's business need, we build a technology solutions. That is the physical part of it. We don't have to worry about what kind of technology will be built. We don't have to worry about, but we want to help the developers understand what is that the user wants, what kind of transactions the user is trying to do. So what kind of features are we expecting? So it is the developer's problem to figure out what technology do we require to build a system like that. I see a couple of guys are raising questions. Please raise your hand. Hi, Aniket. Go ahead. Hello,
Hi,
Aniket.
Sudish.
You have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I apologize. We are supposed to have had a meeting previously before now, but issues with
So,
family and the rest of things. I'm not going to bring up here. But my question straight is this: uh, uh, l- taking up a business analyst, IT business analyst ServiceNow role is more of a specialized role that focuses on ServiceNow, right? And I understand that there are other platforms that are equally competitive with ServiceNow as well. And so my question is, what is the prospects of an IT service now, right now? If you let's say you just get certified to work, what is the prospects for the person that has that in the next, let's say in a short term of the next 5 years and a long term in the next 10 years, compare to other platforms that are actually coming up? Remember, we are all quite aware how much the IA is impacting on different software platforms globally, and also how easy is it for someone in IT business and analyst role to transition into a full core business analyst role? Because a full core business analyst role, I understand, has a broader understanding of the business and could even grow higher in the company compared to a deeply specialized analyst like an IT business an analyst, right? So
yeah,
those are the few concerns and questions I have. The third one is probably this. For the audience in this group come from different backgrounds. Some might not be in IT, some are even in engineering like me. And I have such a long years of experience in engineering. So it kind of play on my mind questioning, how do I fit in here? Moving from engineering into a business analyst role. So
okay,
these are the few questions I have in mind, even
okay,
though I know I can discuss in details on a one-on-one session with you. But I feel I
yeah,
should just clarify these three questions.
okay. So the first thing, of course, I would love to answer this. You definitely want to have a one-on-one question because there's a variety of questions you ask here. So now, first thing is, have you attended my webinar?
Yes, I did, of course.
Okay, so we were talking detail about ServiceNow. So if you to give you a small answer because we're going into the training, what I want to tell you is, first, you might want to start understanding the demand of ServiceNow. Okay. And in ServiceNow, there are 4 important roles we are talking. One is ServiceNow admin, ServiceNow BA, ServiceNow implementation specialist, and ServiceNow developer. 4 roles. Okay. ServiceNow developer, ServiceNow implementation specialist, they are niche careers and they require, they are technical roles. Are you with me so far? Okay. To move in as a ServiceNow BA, you only need CSA certification. You only need admin certification and Scrum Master certification. So the objective of this program is to help you give ServiceNow knowledge so that you can showcase ServiceNow project. You may go into ServiceNow ecosystem as a full-time BA, or you can showcase ServiceNow project and move and become a BA in some other sector too. Aniken, are you with me so far?
I get you. I'm following you.
Okay, your chances are, it's not like we are focusing only on ServiceNow area. No, we are looking at everywhere. As your chances of becoming of BA is good when you have demand skills, keywords in your resume. This is a game of keywords. Our first objective is to get the interview. So the interview calls will only come when you have a demand keywords in your resume. So ServiceNow is a demand keywords like ServiceNow admin, HRSD, ITBM, SPM, okay, HRSD, okay, and the BA keywords, APIs. These are all keywords which will attract the calls to you. And again, are you understand what I'm saying? Okay.
I do, and I'm quite familiar with those terms as well. So
yeah. Okay. So what I would suggest you is I would recommend to get on, one-on-one phone call where we can talk in detail and clear all the questions. But right now I'm going to get into the training, Aniken, but I would love to talk to you. What we can do is, we can send you a Calendly link and we can have a detailed conversation. How about that? Okay. But so far, are you getting to understand that we are not getting into a technical roles? You can fit in as a BA, but you don't want to go as an implementation specialist, which becomes 100% ServiceNow, a consultant. It becomes technical. We don't want that. This training is not designed to push you into hardcore technical. No, we want to be a techno-functional consultant where you're working as a functional consultant, deploying infrastructure projects in ServiceNow. That's what we're trying to specialize.
All right.
Good. Okay, let's go back into the program. Okay, thank you. Great questions. So now let's go back. And so we were talking about, a lot of things about where the projects are getting started and all of those things we were talking yesterday. But I do want to guys to help you understand that, we want to understand as a BA, what is a project? These are kind of definitions, but nobody's going to ask you for definitions. But I want you to understand that there are a lot of people over here who have never been in IT and they have no idea how an IT ecosystem works. I do want to tell you, in an IT ecosystem, we have something called project management office, which governs all the IT projects. Okay, and an IT project is a one-time event which has a specific beginning and it has an end date, and which is where you will be hired, and your role will be as a BA. And in a project, there are PMs, project managers, there are solution architects, there are infrastructure architects, there are developers, there are testers, release managers, security specialists, and BAs. Each of them, they have a unique role. But the beauty is you all will be coming together for a same project goal to achieve. And that's what is project. There are stakeholders who are directly or indirectly who are looking or interested in the outcome of the project. It has a budget too. In most of the bigger organization, the project management office governs the projects because each project is related to a financial ID. which gets approved, the budget gets approved and everything. So when you go into a new project, it's important for you to get access to the project SharePoint. A project SharePoint is a hub site where it will have all details about any past projects related to the new initiative, any kind of conversations which has happened before you have come into this project, all kind of activities like that will be updated there. So when you go into a project as a BA, when you are hired, you will be hired for a project, but there is a high possibility that you will also be working in a smaller ad hoc projects. If you're really skilled, if you're good, and the organization has got a lot of confidence, they will give you 2 or 3 bigger projects, and you might have a smaller projects too. It is very manageable. It's not like, oh my God, I have too many projects. What am I going to do? It's not like that. It's very highly manageable. We just have to wear a different hat when you go into different meetings. So what I want to talk to you today is to help you guys understand. So this is the project roadmap. If you see, there is a planning phase, there is an implementation phase, there's a testing phase, and the deployment phase. This is a sample roadmap of a project manager. If you see, where is it starting? It's starting on a Q4 October and goes on all the way till Q3 August, right? So there is a planning phase. So they're trying to see how much budget it takes for the planning, how much cost it takes for implementation, how much cost it takes for testing phase, and how much for deployment. Based on that, your project manager will come up with a budget, and he will understand, he will give a forecast. We might need around 3 million. A smaller projects can range between 1 to 5 million. A medium-sized project can range somewhere between 5 to 15 to 25 million, and then upwards of 25 to all the way to 50 to 100 or 300 million projects. They are humongous. The teams will be bigger. It's a bigger initiatives. You will definitely have an opportunity to work in a bigger projects like that too. Okay. If you see, December to January, we are doing a requirements phase. We are trying to capture as a BA, you're working very heavy in this area. Then we're doing software design from January to say end of April. And starting from May 1st, we are going into implementation phase. Implementation phase means development phase. Okay. So we go development all the way to from May of Q2 to all the way till November. Okay. We do a lot, tons of documentations. In this training, we're going to learn everything. And then we do something called unit testing. So the testing team comes in, they do a testing, and then we do regression testing, different kinds of testing. Then we go ahead and release it, deployment phase. So as a BA, you have to understand that you have a role to play in a planning phase, implementation phase, testing phase, and deployment phase. We will be talking in detail, what of these each phases are all about, what happens there, and what I would really encourage you to do is in this software development life cycles, you got to understand what it is, but importantly, what is important for you to understand is what is my role in it as a BA. When I look at it from a BA point of view, what is my role? That is what is more important. But I'll give you a complete 360-degree, understanding of what a BA will be doing in a different phase. So today, what I'm going to do is next, I want to show you this generic software development lifecycle. Okay, we have an analysis phase here. We're talking about planning and design phase. Then we're talking about implementation phase. We're talking about testing phase, deployment, and maintenance. Okay, we will come back and talk more about BA. But before that, let me give you a high-level understanding. As a BA, your number one role is to understand the business problem. Okay, if you don't understand a problem, you cannot find solutions. If you have questions, you're doing great. You're going to get the answers. But if you're not able to identify the question, then we have a trouble. So as a BA, you want to have a problem-solving skills. You need to have an attitude where you're going into a root cause analysis and you're trying to understand what is the root of this issue. Hi, Nikita, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to bother. So one quick question here. In these 3 days training, are you going to be talking about how to reduce the bugs, how to fix the bugs in there too as well?
No, this is only introduction. This is training is right. Like I said, this training is for beginners and slowly we'll go into the depth of it. We are going to go into bugs, software testing, deployment, implementation, Scrum framework. We're going to go and look into everything, but you will go into that phases later on.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Or Nikita, are you BA trained already? Are you from the IT sector?
Yeah, I have background of banking, IT, as well as a little bit of the bugs fixing as well. So I've done in the past. So that's the reason as well I was asking.
Yeah, not in these 3 days. This is
Okay,
too
thanks.
heavy for the new guys, not yet.
Yeah.
But you might want to get on a phone call with me
Yeah, I'll do
because
that.
we're going to go 0 to 100 here. But because I'll be more focusing on the people who are coming from absolutely no IT background.
Sure.
Okay. And this is a session where we groom them to become an IT analyst. For you, so if you have experience already, you can directly jump into ServiceNow training. Okay. I would suggest we will have those discussions, Nikita. I will
Sure.
message you. You can get on a phone call. Okay. I'll be happy to help you there. Okay. All right. Okay. So what I want to tell you is, okay, as a BA, one of the most important roles you will be doing in a preliminary when you're hired into a project is to really understand the business problem. You got to understand, like, what is my role? Why am I hired so early into the project? As a BA, you are one of the first assets, resources to be hired into a IT project is because they want somebody, the project team, the organization wants somebody who can talk to the stakeholders, the business team, business people, reach out to their managers and identify what is the problem. We want to document it. We want to do analysis. That's what is your key role is all about. So we're going to learn about different kind of analysis techniques, feasibility analysis, root cause analysis, and we do that analysis in various ways. There are visual ways to perform that activity. We do designs and mock-ups. We write requirements. We do a lot of surveys. So we're gonna do a lot of activities on that to understand. So pretty much your role is to understand the enterprise and do the requirements, planning and design phase. Once you have captured the requirement, the planning starts happening. We will start grooming, your requirements, what you have. We will start grooming and start refining them to make sure we understand each user requirements clearly. What is that the user want to do? Okay, and then we will start planning, the design team will start planning the architecture, how it should look like, and what kind of database should be in the back. All there are people to do that. That's not your role. Okay, then once the requirements are approved, okay, and there are various checkpoints where the requirements gets approved. There are software development lifecycle. There are no checkpoints for approval. There are software developments where there are checkpoints for approval. So we got to learn that there are mainly three different activities. There is waterfall methodology, which is the conventional, classic way of doing it. But the modern way of doing development is on the Agile side and Scrum framework. Then we have something called hybrid, which is a combination of both. Mostly your chances of going into an organization is mostly in a hybrid environment. So you should know how to differentiate it. So we're going to get into the weeds of all of it. Okay, so you will be also doing some design mock-ups, prototypes, how that visually this user interface should look like. And we will be doing those mock-ups and practices also in this training. Then we're talking about implementations, designs and codings. The UI guys, UX guys will, user interface and user experience guys will get into that. Then we're talking about development phase. We're talking about testing phase. In the development phase, usually we are playing a role where we are working as a subject matter expert. Once the requirements are finalized, it goes into development. And even while they do development, developers are working on the features, they will have questions on some user functionality. So you're acting as a subject matter expert, and your job is to make sure within 24 hours you clear the doubts of the developers. You might ask question, how on the earth can I answer it? How will I know everything? I'm new. Yes, I know you are new. But by the time you do your all the analysis work, by the time you do business analysis, by the time you understand the root cause, by the time you met hundreds of times of meetings have done, you capture the requirement documentation, you know the vision statement, you understand the solution of the project, you understand the scope of the project, you will be a subject matter expert. I'll tell you that. I can assure you, you will know back on the head. There are times you might not have answers, which is okay. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect. So you will need to take time. You can come back with the information provided to the developers and testing team. You're apart from capturing the requirements and documenting the requirements, one other important work developers will do is to the art of helping the developers and testers understand what are the various user functionalities are there which they need to build and test. Unless the developers and testers do not understand, they cannot take up the work from there. There will be an interview question. How will you run the requirements to the developer? And you will understand that by end of the training, when I teach you everything, then you will know how to deliver that. So based on many topics, I will also be sharing a lot of ad hoc interview questions during the training itself so that you will understand on those concepts, how will you approach, how you'll start getting an idea what kind of interview questions can I expect in the implementation phase? What kind of interview questions can I expect during analysis phase? What kind of interview questions can I expect during a development phase, deployment phase, right? Soon after testing, we don't engage in testing. We do something called UAT testing, user acceptance testing, which we do with a demo, with product owners, with the clients. But our role is to make sure that the requirements are delivered, okay, and are tested and get an acceptance from the user community. So we will be doing that, and I'll be sharing a lot of case studies. You guys will be doing a lot of practicals. A lot of homeworks will be given to you, which you will need to finish that and get a feedback from me, and I'll continue to continue to coach you and and show you where you need to improve. Okay, deployment is very important in a BA interview. Deployment is a very important role. Like I said, BA plays an important role in pretty much every software development lifecycle, right? So in deployment, it's very crucial. We want somebody, I know somebody said when I asked for what is a BA, somebody said it's an intermediary between the business and the delivery team, right? Yes, it is true. When it comes to deployment, we are engaging big time. We are engaging with the team. We are engaging with them to show them, what requirements are going to be deployed. Okay, so we are showing them. And the next thing, what we want to understand is maintenance. Once the features are all deployed, there is a warranty period we are giving to everybody where we do the maintenance, all right? So these are the various activities as a BA we are engaging. Before I go ahead, I'll stop a little bit to see if you guys are all on the same page. Randy, Mamadou, Neharika, Suhani, Syed, Bhumika, Nikita, Sam, Sudhir, Fazan, Faith, Anikin, Sitaram, Addy, Nikki, Himangani, Angelina, Srividya, Sarah, any questions? Yes, Nikita, go ahead.
So, sorry, I think I have maximum questions here today. So when we're talking about deployment, do we talk about the APIs deployment as well in it?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay,
a lot of people don't know what is APIs, but yeah, as a BA today, you will need to know how to capture requirements in API-related projects. Okay, so just to help you a little bit over here, Nikita.
Yes.
One of the things what I do in this training is once we finish the training, I help them take through a different kinds of case studies, project case studies. There are different kind of projects we are talking about. Unless I don't help you guys understand, you will never know how to approach a project. We are talking about data cleanup project. We're talking about digital banking project, let's say, notifications. Let's talk about Salesforce project case study, ServiceNow project case study, UI-based case study. We're talking about API, application project interface projects. What is your role in an API related project where we are integrating systems with a third party, right? How are we working with ERP systems projects? So different kind of case studies I will teach them, and I will help them understand how to approach those projects. What is the BA role? And I do that only in the end, because that's when they're able to relate. By then, they would have known, okay, what is Scrum framework? What is Waterfall framework? They would have known the UML diagrams. You would have known how to document the requirements. You would have known what is your role in the deployment, all the activities. In the end, you will know exactly what you need to do. Okay. And Nikita, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just one last question here as well. Actually, two last questions, sorry. So when we talk also about deployment, uh, uh, so like there are certain deployments which are done for consultants as well, right? For the BAs
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the project is ready and it has been
Yeah.
deployed as well, right? Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to find out as well, I went to your LinkedIn in there and was trying to log on to the uh, WhatsApp group in that, but I did not have access to it. It did not allow me. It said it's outdated.
I'm not sure. We're not very active in the LinkedIn, Nikita. We're
Okay.
not. We're
Okay.
not. We just have a page. We're not very active there.
Yeah, I won't take
No,
much
we
of your
are
time. I'll
more.
let you
Yeah,
continue
yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank
Thanks.
you. All right. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi,
Hello,
Sunal.
Cynthia. Hi,
Hi,
Cynthia.
can
How are
you hear
you?
me? Yeah, I'm fine. I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
I know you explained that we're going to like add some projects to our resume. So my question is, are we going to have like any live projects so where we can practice all of this during the class?
Yes, you are going to be working. We are going to be practicing that. See, we don't share live projects. We are not authorized to do it. Okay. But the projects which I'm going to share with you will be very close to the live projects, which you will able to understand how to handle it. Nobody's authorized to share live projects. You understand that, right, Cynthia?
No, I don't understand.
Now, in the IT world, when you're working in a project, you're not allowed to share your project details with anybody. So you'll never get a live project. Okay. In a training atmosphere, we replicate live projects and we teach you how to approach live, scenarios based on live projects.
Okay, more like a sample, but it's not true, right?
Yeah, you don't get live projects. We are not authorized. We can get sued for it for $1 million.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Not authorized. Nobody will give you a live project. Never.
Okay.
Well,
I
you
mean,
don't need
something
that.
to practice with. That's what
Sorry?
I'm trying to say. Something to practice with.
Yeah, this is going to be super practical. Don't worry. You need to follow my mentorship 100%. All right. So I'll groom you slowly. You'll get there. Don't worry about it. By the time you end, you will have enough knowledge to handle a project. Okay, Cynthia? You will have practicals. Okay. All right. Any other questions before we go ahead? We're good? All right. Let's go back in right now. Okay. As a BA, okay, when you're
Yes, I do have one question. Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah.
Actually, I need to go. How long will this session last? And is this possible?
Well, I would say it will last for another half an hour to 40 minutes, I guess. I have a case study which I want to discuss with our guys too. So if you want to stay back, it's fine, or else don't worry. Recordings will be sent to you.
Perfect. I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Syed. Happy to have you here. Okay, thank you. All right. So let's go back in, guys. Okay, guys, have any questions? Please raise your hand so that I can reach out to you. Just wait for me to finish. Okay, thank you. All right. So let's start understanding as a BA, our key activity is to help understand the business. All right. And that's why we call us business analyst, because we do analysis of the business. All right. And there is a framework. Business analyst is a practice, it's a framework, and we need to know how to approach the business. Okay. And I'm going to teach you the most easiest way. What I really want to do is I don't want to teach you out of the textbook, okay? Because you will not understand how the practicals. We are not here to learn everything about what business analysts do A to Z. No, we're not doing that. What we're here to do is enough for us to understand how to crack the interview and do the job. That's it. There are people studying business analysts in colleges for 1 year. We're not doing that. We're going 0 to 100. We're going to talk about only the key things which you need to understand to perform this job. That's what we're learning here, okay? One of the very first, you see this picture, there's a pyramid kind of activity over here. You see business requirement, okay? And then we talk about stakeholder requirement. Then we're talking about functional requirement. There is non-functional requirement. Then you see interface. Then we say transitional requirement. Then we see business rules. Then we see graphical user interface requirements. Then we see system requirements, and there is a system shell statement, use cases, and use stories. And these are the various things we're seeing in the page. But then you see something called problem domain. Then you see something called solution domain. Okay. For us, what we want to transition in a project, and the whole team who are you with, they are going to move together from the problem domain to the solution domain. We belong to the solution domain. We are from the IT project team. We are from the solution domain. Our job is to provide technology solutions for business problems. I want you to understand the stakeholders. Okay. Can somebody tell me what is the stakeholder? What does mean by stakeholder? Can somebody tell me what is stakeholder? What is your understanding about stakeholder? Yes, Bhumika, go ahead.
Any entity that is impacted by the project. It can be
Wonderful.
humans, can be non-humans.
Very good. Thank you. Some house rules. Please raise your hand so that I can come to you one by one. These are the house rules. Thank you.
Apologies.
That's okay. That's okay. Sorry, just to make sure we help, so that we don't get overlap, right? Okay. Thank you. Good answer there. Okay. Yes, Bhumika, go ahead.
So stakeholder win is the client who will come up with the problems with us, and we get the requirement gathering from them. So they're the client who provide the project to us, our business problem.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Bhumika. Yes, Nikita, go ahead.
So stakeholder is basically in finance is somebody who has entity inside the business, has ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
In simple words.
Fantastic. Your simple words are very deep.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you. Yeah, because there are different people over here from different backgrounds. So just wanted to put it in a simple word over here.
I know you try to keep it simple, Nikita. I know that.
Yeah,
But
thanks.
Thank you for keeping it simple. It's very important. We are folks over here who have never been in IT. It's very important to keep that in mind. There are folks here who are very, very new, and it's important for me to transition them slowly because there's a lot of information coming. Sometimes it's very difficult for our mind to process all the information. Okay. I do want to tell you the concepts which are not clear now, it will get clear later on. Don't panic if you're not understanding now. You need to allow your mind to process. It will take time. It's a new thing. All right. And hello, Aniken. Hello, Aniken. You raised your hand.
Oh, sorry. I thought I had answered it, but I could also add, like what I said earlier. Stakeholder could be defined as any entity that has vested interest and could be impacted by the project itself. So, I mean, for instance, if I'm doing a project or maybe doing a program, my family is a stakeholder because they are affected by the program during the time I use. The owners of the project, the investment they give into the users eventually. And that is why we go for the user requirement and the rest user story, blah, blah, blah. They are impacted because they want to have a feel on, they want the product to come out this way. But who pays for it? That is directly impacted. Indirectly could be maybe it could be the government could have influence in it and the rest. So those are all stakeholders. They come in different levels. That's just my understanding of what stakeholder is.
You did an amazing job, Aniken. You pretty much gave the whole definition. Okay. And thank you very much. And thank you. That's a good one. Hello, Eddie.
Hi. Actually, I was
Eddie.
raising my hand. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I had a question actually. While explaining about the business analysis and the stakeholder requirement, use cases, user stories, or whatever, in a different phrases, if you could give a simple example, that would be better for everyone to understand.
Okay. We will talk about user stories and use cases later on.
No,
Okay.
not
Are you
only
from
that, just one example, like business needs, requirements, and stakeholder requirements. Those
Are you
ones, if
from
you give example, that would be better.
Yeah. Do you have a prior IT experience? I think you do.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to take those concepts. I'm going to park half of your question about use cases and user story. We're going to get there. You're getting too early on that. Okay. What I want to tell you, we want to talk. Please make sure the guys who have prior IT experience, please understand. I would talk about use cases and user stories and requirements only when we reach the requirements phase. Okay. We're talking about stakeholders. Please have your questions specific to the topic we are discussing. It's very important. There are people who are coming with zero IT experience. They do not understand the terminologies which you use. So please do not use those words and please wait for me to get there. Okay. Just to explain, to sum up, coming back to the same conversation of what is stakeholder, because it's important. We're always talking about stakeholders and whatever. I do want to tell you, stakeholders are guys like we had, I think Mr. Anikin, he did a fantastic job, and all of you guys were explaining what a stakeholder, somebody who is directly or indirectly, who is got a vested interest and who is interested with the outcome of the project in a simple word. But if I want to tell you a little bit of more, I want to tell you that as an IT business analyst, you want to understand who's the user, who's going to use these functionalities. Okay. For example, let's say a customer care agent. Okay. So we are making some changes to the customer relationship management tool, which we also call a CRM, let's assume. And we are doing a CRM where working on a CRM where the customer care agents in a bank who are using to pull out customers' bank accounts and all the stuff, let's say, for example, and we're working on fixing those CRMs, or maybe we're adding some new features. So who do you think is the user of that CRM? Can somebody tell me, who do you think is the user of that system? Yes, Bhumika.
Who has the direct interactions with the customer, like a customer representative?
No. I'm asking, I'll rephrase my question again. What I'm saying is, let's say as a business analyst, your development team is working on a system as customer resource management tool, we are called CRM, which is used by banking employees, let's say. Okay. And we are making changes for the CRM. Okay. As a CRM, there are banking websites which are used by customers, external customers. Your internal customers are who? Your employees. Okay. Let's talk about you're working on an internal tool, internal system. Okay. And your employers are using it. Okay. Who are the various kind of users are you looking here? Yes, go ahead, Sam. Hi, Sam. Okay. Hi, Nikita. Nikita, you raised your hand?
Yeah. So those are basically the end users we are talking about over here.
Yeah. Okay. So let's Sam, go ahead.
Yes, that will be the end users, the customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So guys, what I want to tell you, thank you, Sam. Very good. As a business analyst, there are two things we are looking at. One is we're looking at stakeholders and we're looking at end users. Stakeholders can be anybody from your project sponsors, your managers from the business side, who are wanting this application to be built. We're talking about users who are going to use that particular application. We are talking about your team members, your project managers, your developers. They are all stakeholders from the development side, from the business side. It could be the department IT directors, managers, okay, and folks who are approving the budget for this project. All of those guys are stakeholders, okay? But you got to remember, as a BA, when you go into a project, it's very important for you to understand who are your stakeholders, who are the guys who are directly working towards a project. You could be working in a different projects. Like I said, you are working in a project 1, project 2, project 3. Each projects will have a different kind of stakeholders. we're going to do something called stakeholder analysis, and there's a template for it. I will show you how to do that. Every time when I talk about a template, we will also talk about how to approach those templates, how to fill up those templates, how to finish this task. As a business analyst, your job is to finish task after task after task. Okay, every time we give a work to finish, they might give us a time of 1 to 2 days to finish a task. So it's very important that you make sure that you finish those tasks. So it's very important that whenever you're going into a project, we want to know who are our stakeholders, who are interested in the outcome of this project. And there is a way we can also identify who are the stakeholders you can go in and ask questions. Who are the stakeholders you just have to inform them, and who are the stakeholders we can consult them. There is something called RACI matrix, RACI. Okay, R for responsible, A for accountable, C for consultant, I for inform. And in some projects, you will be asked to do it. We're going to look into it when we do practically work in it, which is coming in next week. All right. There's all the very, very basic things we need to know. So when you're moving into a project, it is very important that you start understanding what is the business requirement. You will be given, starting next week, once you have enrolled into the program, I'm going to show you, very close real world project decks. You're going to see real world project documents. And that I can show that once these are very confidential. And once you enroll into the program next week, I will be showing you access to all of those things, which you can have a real world experience of how those things will look like. Because as a BA, when you go into a new project, you are going to get knowledge transfer. Okay, you're going to get knowledge transfer from somebody, maybe your manager or maybe somebody from the team. They'll give you a rundown of what this project is all about at a very high level. Okay, and your project manager will show you project deck, give you project decks. When I say project decks, I mean project PowerPoints. Guys, am I going too fast? Is that everybody's able to keep up? Am I going too fast? Is it good?
No,
Can you
Sudish.
give me a thumbs up? If I'm going too fast, I can slow down. I don't want my rate of speech to be too fast. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Hey, Nikita, you raising your hand?
Can you
Okay.
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So also I would like to add, along with the end users, we talked about customers. In banking, we have the external agencies as well.
Yeah.
Those are also the end users, basically. Just wanted to add to that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because in the yesterday's session, we were talking about various entities, which can various entities which can impact a project. Looking at this, projects can start from an internal organization. It could be from external entities, like from partners, suppliers. It could be direct customers. There are a lot of factors. We are doing varieties of IT projects here, correct? So it is very important for us to identify the stakeholders. That's one of the primary activities which you'll be doing as a BA. So our first requirement is to understand the business requirement. So you would have given some documents to study. They are given some knowledge transfers. Your managers have come in, they met you one-on-one. They've given you an understanding of what this project is all about. You have started attending the project meetings. And in the beginning, when you go into the project meetings, you don't understand head and tail because you're new. You don't get to understand everything. But when you start attending more meetings, you get to start understanding what is going on, provided you're also trying to ask questions. Sorry, I think a lot of guys are trying to ask questions. I'm sorry if I'm not responding to you. Tia, I think if there is anything details you want, please ask me questions because since I'm training, I might miss out in the chat. If you want any emails or documentation, please message to Tia. She'll send it out to you. Right. So coming back to business requirements. So I will later on, we are going to understand how to break down a business requirement into functional requirement. how to identify the technical requirements, system specific requirements out of that. So your job is to identify the business requirement, okay, and then that's like a wish list, okay, at 30,000 feet. Then we break it down to into functional requirement. We start going into what are the various things you want the user to do, right? And we start making a note of all the functional requirements. Once we get the user requirements, we understand what the users want to do, then we are able to understand based on the various activities they're trying to run the system, we want what features in the system we want to develop. Okay, as a BA, you don't have to worry about how are we going to develop. The how part you don't have to worry about. What we want is we want to know the what part over here, right? And that's what we're trying to capture over here. Now we are capturing different kind of requirements. We are talking about user requirements, some system level requirements, some user interface, some business rules we're requiring. So that's a lot of requirements requirement types are there. When we go into the requirements phase, I will share all those things with you. All right. Then we talk about system requirements. So as a BA, remember I told you, when we're approaching requirements, there are two things. One is the physical aspect of it, then the logic part of it. When we're starting writing the requirements, we're documenting the requirements. I will give you a lot of homework. I'll teach you how to document requirements in different software development life cycles. You will know exactly how to write requirements. There is a format for it. Okay. There are system shall statement. There are certain requirements. There are beautiful ways of capturing who's the user, which system, what feature, what exactly they're trying to do, and there are ways to capture. So our goal is to capture the business requirement and break it down and make sure that we capture all the requirements. And based on the understanding we have with the team of our folks and the technical guys in the team, we will help a beautiful system. And we want to make sure that we want to give them exactly what they ask for. There will be an interview question that what if you're trying to deploy and doing a demo and the user say, this is not what I asked for. So how are you going to handle? You're going to get interview questions like that. So you want to make sure that know how to handle this. You don't want to be in a situation where a client comes around and says, hey, this is not what I asked for. Then you're in trouble. So this is why we have a lot of methods of validating with the stakeholders that is this and validating. We do validation in every stages of software development lifecycle, as I say, and BAs plays a very integral part in this. Okay, so now what I want to do is I have a small case study over here. I'm going to bring up in front of me, and I'm going to show you an understanding of how to approach the case study. And you guys can also share with me what is your understanding on that. Okay, I'm going to share it in the big screen right now. One of the most important things which I would like to achieve in the next couple of days is for you to start understanding how to do a problem solving. Okay, I would want the people who are new to IT to participate in it because we want to see how they're approaching this. So here we have a case study, which is about a digital appointment scheduling system for a healthcare clinic. Okay, so I'm going to explain you the background and the objective. Then I'm going to ask you some few questions. Then I will also show you how to approach this scenario. So this is how you will be in a project. The project use case can be 10x times, but we're going to handle a lot of scenarios and you will exactly know how to go into the root cause. Okay, so let's say the background of this project is it's a Sunrise Family Clinic. It's a mid-sized healthcare provider operating across 5 locations, and patients currently book appointments by phone or in person, which includes long hold times, frequent booking errors, no visibility of patients to doctor availability, frequent overbooking or double booking, increased administrative burdens. And to improve the efficiency and patient experience, the clinic wants to implement in a portal. Okay, what I want to ask you is based on this case study, I will give you 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to close it up very soon. I'm not going to take much time. I want you to help me understand if you are a BA over here, seeing this problem, what do you think we can propose to this client? Please give me a suggestion on that. Are we good? Can we do this? Suhani, Faizan, Sudhir, Mamadou, Neharika, Sam, Nikita, Adi, Sitaram, Aniken, Faith, Nikki, Arti, Cynthia, can we do this? So I just
Yes.
want to, I'm training your mindset. You got to understand. It's a part of practical. It's also about, it's an analyst work. It's got to go into Agile Scrum framework. It's 90% analyst. It's a problem solving. So we need to know how to approach a problem. So I'm sharing the screen again, and I'm going to give you only 5 minutes. Go through this, and I want you to tell me or document in a Word document or whatever, and I want you to tell me what is the problem statement and what solution would you propose for this client. There is no right or wrong. You might have done this work before, but it's okay. I'm not going to judge you. Please feel free to do mistakes. It's a controlled atmosphere, okay? I'm going to give you 5 minutes here. Go ahead, guys.
Mhm.
Hello, folks. How are we doing? Are we ready to go?
Yes, Sudish.
We're good to
I
go?
guess.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Before we go ahead, I want to tell you something. See, I want to tell you that as a BA, you got to be very proactive. Okay. There are some people will be shy to talk and everything. It is okay. Maybe you're not an analyst job. By end of this training, you will be very comfortable because I'm going to be engaging very heavily with everybody. There is no way you can hide behind the screen. You can have your camera off, but you cannot hide from me. Okay. So I will be molding you. That's my job here. So get yourself comfortable to talk out. And I'm like your friend, your mentor, and my role is to help you, to become an analyst. Okay. So now, based on the situation, we'll go one by one. Please raise your hand. I only want us me to give you only one solution, okay? Because we want to give chance to everybody, okay? All right, starting with Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Sudesh, sorry. I think
Okay, how what do you imagine you're a BA? Imagine you're a BA, okay?
Okay, imagine I'm a BA. I would introduce like a mobile app that keeps record of every patient. So that way the appointment can be booked online with a number assigned to each what's it
Okay.
called? Each patient.
Okay, Cynthia, before we go in, can you tell me what is the problem statement here?
The problem is the errors that are made when they were trying to book, like they keep doing double booking. Yeah, I think it's just error. They have different types of error, ranging from patients not being available. I think they were booking more than the available doctors.
Okay, okay, thank you. Cynthia, just keep there. I'm going to circle back with you, okay? So hang on. I want somebody else to tell me, before we go into solution, I want somebody else to tell me what is the problem statement here. Let's understand the problem before we go into the solution. Tell me what is the problem. Go ahead, please.
No visible for patients into doctors' availability.
Okay, very good. No visibility of patients into doctors' availability. Great. What else do you see?
One other thing that I see here is more or less like manual booking, either in person or phone call.
Manual work, right? So, okay, manual work. That's a very good finding, Annika.
So, Sudesh, I was trying to, if I was a business analyst here and I would like to do solve this entire problem, I will basically go ahead and do a SWOT analysis. That's what I've done right now. Yes, and the SWOT analysis, the strengths would be it's located in 5 locations, basically. It's a mid-sized healthcare digital digital appointments they're doing in there. The weaknesses is no visibility. They're overbooking in there. And the threats related to them are, just give me a second here. I'm trying to pull up the, so the threats is where basically they have increased administrative burden going on right now. That's the problem, basically.
Okay. Okay. That's great. Nikita,
Yeah.
that's great.
Thank you.
So that's a fantastic way of looking at it. See, guys, we're going to see different kind of analysis techniques later on, but we are too early for it. So what we're going to do is Nikita did a fantastic job. That's how we want to approach it. We want to do a SWOT analysis. Okay. So, but let's look at it a very layman sense. We are not going into deep yet, right? In a very layman sense.
And also I did the opportunities. Sorry, I'll share it here. The opportunities are basically they're leveraging technology. They have improved patient flow and they have improved communication.
Correct. So those are the opportunities, right? Okay, good. Thank you. Very good.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Good job, Nikita. Anybody else? Cynthia, you wanted to give a solution, right? What are you suggesting?
Yeah, I was suggesting a mobile, like an application that keeps record of patients so you can match the appointment to the available doctor.
Like a mobile app?
Like a mobile app.
which you have as a patient, you have an access.
Yes, and
Something
the
like that. Okay.
yes, the patients have the app, while the organization, they have like maybe a database or it's in their system. They don't need the app. The company does not need the app. But let's say the hospital, they don't need the app. The mobile app is
Yeah.
just for the patient, so it can match the doctor's availability to a particular patient. So that way, there's no error.
Good job. I like the way you're thinking. Okay, good job. Keep it at Cynthia. Keep at it. Hi, Bhumika. What do you suggest?
Now, Sudesh, I found the root cause problem. What I think is they have a communication gap between the staffing. They could have a insufficient training for the booking to the staff. It could be possible that they have a poor communication with the patients. Before booking the appointment, they could have asked them whether they have booked any another location or another time. And then maybe they have a limited resources or limited staff. That could be a reason too. That's what I looked into it.
Okay, very good. Who else?
Hi, this
Sam,
is
go ahead.
Abby. Shall I
to
go
add
ahead?
to what
and-
Cynthia said,
1 second, Addy. Let's anybody.
to add to what Cynthia said, after the booking, there must be a confirmation email.
Okay.
Maybe yes, through email or a phone text message, just to show that the booking has been successful, so that it won't cause multiple booking. And
So you mean to
also
say-
the IT also needs to create in their maybe on the app or the company website, whereby you can or you should be able to book maybe once in 24 hours, so that it will avoid multiple booking. Once the pin has been generated, it will serve you for that 24 hours. So you won't be able to book again. Yes.
Right. See, I tell you something great. That's a great inputs right there, Sam. What I want to tell you is, even a real world scenario, if you think you want to propose a solution, you can, you should. Okay. If you think that, you feel the urge to provide a solution, why not? Because what happens is, why are we doing this root cause analysis? Why are we doing this problem management study is to understand the problem and find a solution for it, end of the day. And your whole project team is going to be working on to it. So these are great inputs. You should feel the same in a real world to share your inputs. Okay, good job there, Sam. All right.
So also
Mr.
associated with we are doing the booking in there, Sudesh, I would like to add is the cost. We have to consider the cost. How will be the cost associated with it, and whether we can incur it or not, and how much we want to keep it.
Right. That's good. That's good. Very good. Keep it up, Nikita. Very good. Cost is very important because when you're talking to a client, um, they can ask for the best solution, but if they don't have the money to build the best solution, they can't. They will have a budget. So many times what happens in a real world scenario, when we're doing the root cause analysis and we're doing understanding the business problem, we as a team, as a delivery team, we need to come up with a solution, and we have to present the solution to the sponsors. In this case, probably in this case, the hospital management, this Sunrise Family Clinic could be your sponsor, and you could be a third-party team or your in-house team, whoever it is. You're trying to see what kind of technology solutions you're trying to bring in. So once you propose a solution which is scalable, easy to maintain, and it's futuristic, and and it's user friendly. Those kind of easy to use kind of functionality when we give, because we want to give us systems to the users which are easy to use. If you end up, there are many projects which are spend millions and it is not adapted by the user community. What is the point in spending so much money?
Sorry, please.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you, is it's very important for us to keep the budget. That's a very good point, Nikita. Keep it up. All right.
But
So now,
I'm sorry, this is Kenneth. I wanted to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenneth.
Yes. There's no way we can find out the solution without analyzing the problems.
Sorry,
First,
what?
we
So you
can't
need to
get the
speak up.
we can't get the solution if we do not analyze the problems.
Yes, correct.
First, what is the problem with the company? Is it that they are
Yeah.
short-staffed as regards to the number of doctors they have? If
Yeah.
we're able to certify that they have enough doctors, fine, we can now relate with it. But if they don't have enough doctors, there's no other way we can find out the solution. So if the problem is that they don't have enough doctors, then they have to employ more doctors. Otherwise, there's no way they will be able to. It means that there's a whole lot of traffic. They have more
Yeah.
customers that they can accommodate. So that's a major problem. So what is the cause of that problem? So that is what we must have to analyze first of all before we start proposing solutions.
Good job, Ken. Good job, Ken. I like the way you're approaching it. That is a very good way of approaching the problem-solving skills. Keep it up. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. Hi, I think Addy, you raised your hand to say something, Addy?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, I could see on that four problems to solve.
Okay.
One is manual bookings, which is time consuming and also error prone, and
Okay.
there is no real time doctor availability. That
Yeah.
is the problem, which leads to overbooking or mismatched appointments.
Okay.
Another is poor patient experience, where there is no flexibility and long wait times, and no
Yeah.
reminders for patients for the appointments they booked, and
Right.
administrative inefficiency, which is staff overloading with repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
For this, to improve this kind of system, one is to, what I would think is, digitize the doctor's schedules,
Yeah.
and then launch an online appointment portal,
Okay.
and automate the notifications and reminders for patients. Whenever they book an appointment, they get SMS or email notifications for appointment
Okay.
confirmation. That is before 24 hours and 1 hour before, something like that.
Yeah.
And also a dashboard for receptionist and staff should be accessed as a role-based access for the staff. That would also help them. And
Yeah.
and then another thing is like uh, all-in-one solutions for technologies that use and calendar management, where Google Calendar or Outlook
Yeah.
or API, whatever can be used as a tool or tech stack.
Correct.
That's what I
Thank
think.
you. Thank you, Addy. That was amazing. You already become a technical consultant. Fantastic. I like the way you're thinking. Keep it up. Sam.
Yes, I just want to add to what the previous speaker said regarding the numbers of doctors.
Yeah.
Before we can conclude that we don't have sufficient doctors for the client, we need to identify the client doctors ratio to know the numbers
Okay.
of patients and the numbers of doctors that will be able to attend to a patient. We know the ratio first, then we can conclude if we have less workers or staff. Yeah.
Good job, Sam. Keep it up. Sitaram.
Yeah, Sudish, yeah. So pretty much everyone added the points, and I have few left. Anyways, coming to the problem statement, they need an automatic platform where they can divert the traffic of the patients from different locations into one. So for the people who are technically sound, they can book their appointments online, so that it will be decreasing the burden on administration and handling the staff. So yeah, for the online appointment booking, we can solve the problem of patients, like regarding the visibility of the doctors on specific dates and times. So we can book the appointments for them with the time slots, and with that, they won't have any ambiguity of doctors availability or error bookings, these kind of things. Yeah, and yeah, once they have booked they will get reminder and everything, so that they don't need to frequently follow up the administration for regarding their appointments. um yeah, and also, as Adi said, we can schedule the appointments for the doctors, so that they don't get confused which patient to address. So in this way,
Okay.
yeah, we can make a solution for this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Sitaram. There's a lot of interesting solutions you guys have provided already. Keep it up. I like the way you're thinking, both on the technology side and from the user point of view. That's fantastic. Aniken, Mr. Aniken.
I thought I should drop my hands. It's like the point has been exhausted. I don't have anything to say again. I'm going to drop my hand.
Okay, okay, all right, no issues. And so, Nikita, you have something to share?
Yeah. So after hearing all this, I want to add, also after we have done the cost analysis and other stuff in there, we can even maybe the clinic can be a 24-hour mobile one in there too.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way it is more cost efficient for others in the long run.
Okay.
And
All
can
right.
solve and it can solve all the problems of the customers and also the end users.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikita. I want to tell you guys, I love the participation from everybody. And this is the kind of participation you have to show in your work too. Okay, that's how it works. Because as a business analyst, our metric is only one metric. They give a task, we complete the task, no matter which stage of software development lifecycle you are in. Okay. All right, good. Let's go to Mr. Momadou.
Yes. For me, I think all of the other colleague already told what's wrong with the company. I think it's actually inefficient way of doing business. You know, they're doing stuff manually. It's not updated, so there are some errors, and the admins. I mean, a lot of things. It's not an efficient way to do business. For me, I don't think it's about. I don't think the problem with lack of doctor. I mean, they don't have enough doctors. It's not the problem. The problem is actually that they don't know how to handle the scheduling of the patient, and how to have a user-friendly way of doing that. You know, that's what I think about this situation.
You got it right. You got it right. And I like the way you're thinking. I do want to tell you before I talk about and I close this case, I do want to tell you in a real world scenario, you will see big brands. I don't want to mention their names. When you look at the brand, they are big in North America, but not all organizations are interested in improving their IT infrastructure because they're not just interested. And there are organizations who are technologically very ahead, advanced. You are going to see all kind of company. You'll be surprised when you go into the organizations. They don't even have a proper framework to develop, applications. They don't have sufficient team. They will be working in a very small team because they just want to keep their operation levels low. So I do want to tell you something. We always want to understand that we are the technical guys. We are the IT guys. We know what to do. They don't know what to do. They're just running the business. Okay, so our job is to make sure, understand the problem and solutions, and that is why we're here. Just to sum it up, to continue on this case study, when we understood the problem statement is hold times, no visibility for patients into doctor availability, frequent overbooking, double booking, increased administrative burden. We saw all those things. So let's look at the objective. So the solution, every problem, there is a problem, we want a solution. Let's say you have collated all the requirements and you understood the problem statement, you're bringing the problem statement, let's to the business. And your team came together and they come up with a solution. Okay, and this is the solution we want as a BA, because once the solution is finalized, we are able to finalize the requirements as well, which means after that, we can go into design work, we can go into development work, we can go into testing, and then go deployment, which is nothing but build phase, okay? Build and deploy, all right? So now let's say, so the objective is, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna build a responsive, user-friendly web and mobile-based appointment booking system, and that lets patients book, reschedule, and cancel appointments, syncs with the doctor's calendars and availability and real time, sends automated reminders via SMS and email, offers admin dashboard for staff and to manage schedules. I know a lot of people said mobile-based being appointment. That is great. Okay, and there's a lot of products are also systems are going towards AI-based chatbot responses and all the stuff. So you can get creative over and over again. But I'm just telling, this is how a problem is understood. This is how we come to understand. We know what are the users are struggling, but we want to give a technology solutions, and that's what we are here. This training is to become an IT business analyst in deployment, in software development. This is not data analytics, guys. We do a little bit of research in data to understand about the user. That's why we need SQL. But for all what we are here is we use expertise from your team. So are you the one who's going to decide what kind of system, what kind of solution needs to be planned? No, that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to understand the business problem through various analysis techniques, document the requirements, and bring those requirements to the delivery team, and that they will review that, understand the user requirement, understand the problem statement, and they will see what could be the best solution, technology solution. And that's what you see over here. So to continue this, you as your role as a business analyst is to lead the business analyst assigned to the discovery phase. So we call this discovery phase of the project. And that is where the business analyst work very heavily. Our role is to discover the problem and document the problem, refine the problem, and understand, have we got all the requirements in scope? There is something called in scope and out of scope. Can somebody tell me what is in scope and out of scope? What is the difference out of this? Hi, Nikita. Can somebody tell me what is in scope and out of scope?
Yeah, I was just trying to add from before was we also, along with the cost and everything in there, we have to even think about the timeline which we have to achieve all this.
Yeah. Good, good. Keep it up. Very good. Can somebody tell me what is the difference between in scope and out of scope? Cynthia, go ahead.
So in scope basically means within the requirements, like what we are seeing. So out scope would be like you're thinking outside the box, that's maybe like a non-functional requirement. I mean, I don't know, I'm just trying.
Yeah, in
Good.
scope also we can say as basically which can be achieved in there, and out scope is maybe which cannot be achieved in there, which is within the timeline period as well.
Okay, good. Keep it up. Yes, Bhumika.
So in scope means it's an urgent requirement which needs attention and has to be done by the development time, where out scope can be covered later. It's not urgent requirement, which is not needed urgent attention at the time of deployment.
Very good. Great job, guys. Great answers. Let me sum it up for you. When we are looking into requirements, okay, we are looking at over here. Sorry, I know it's going a little longer, but I hope everybody's learning something. See, when you look into the requirements, We want to build applications, systems based on it. As a BA, it's very important for you to follow what kind of solution your delivery team is going to decide on, finalize on. So what we really want to understand is first we have to understand the scope of the project. Okay, what is the high level vision, what we want to achieve? High level vision is we are going to create a web mobile based appointment booking system. That's the scope of the project. But there are some features which the users wanted right away, something like patient booking, reschedule, cancel appointments, booking calendars, availability, SMS, sending us a dashboard. These are in scope, which means these features are of high business value. Client wants it. As a business analyst, when you closely work with your business team, stakeholders, user communities, they're telling you, hey, this is the problem, this is the bottleneck issue, these are the ones we want to go after, fix it. So those becomes your primary requirements, which are urgent and important, and they are of high business value. So we want to deliver that to the clients. But while we're doing this requirements management, we also come across some features. They're important, but not urgent, which means we can always revisit it later. But they're important, but they're not urgent. So maybe we'll do it in the next project. Maybe we don't have the budget for it. Maybe because of the particular requirement, like Nikita said, it can increase the timeline. Okay, so but when a project has a definite start time, a definite end time. So we don't want to increase it. Sometimes some requirements will go out of scope because we are not able to figure out a technology solution right away because of the constraints. There is constraints also. Not every time it's happy path we figure out every time. There are challenges, there are dependencies, there are constraints. We will talk more as we go. So we want to focus on, as a BA, on the scope which is finalized, which will be the final scope, which is the in scope. So it is very important and you will understand that only by attending team meetings in your delivery team. We have steering committee meetings where we are discussing what solution to be given, and that's how you'll understand, what final solution they're coming up with, and finally they give it a plan. So this is all comes in the discovery phase, which you'll be working with stakeholders, or doing a lot of elicitation meetings. Okay, you'll be meeting a lot of stakeholders to understand that. So what are the few things which you do over hypothetically is first is, yes, Nikita, go ahead.
Sorry, is this also going to be that where the point where we are going to go ahead and deploy the APIs as well over here?
No, this is a very high level case. We're not
Okay.
talking APIs, Nikita. You need to dial down a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, please. This is for, I have to understand. We are dealing with newbies over here. Okay. API is a very high level project. Okay. All right. So guys, what I want to tell you is, as a BA, your first activity over here is, when you're approaching a business problem, like I said, when you go into a new organization, you're new, you don't know which stakeholder to meet and who to collect the information and everything. So your job as a stakeholder is to first understand who are your key stakeholders. You might not know, but you can ask your manager and you can say, hey, who am I supposed to meet on the business team? They'll say, you got to go John from this department, and you can also meet Rebecca from this department. These are the two guys who are working in this department, and they can really tell you what's happening at ground level, what are the challenges they are facing, and now you know who to meet it. So where you first go when you're approaching the problem is to identify the stakeholders, identify the roles. You need to know the interest level. There is an analysis behind it. We will look into it. It's a very small concept. And you also need to know the influence level. You can't just go to meet a director. You won't get a time, but you might get at a time with a manager, right? So things like that. And the second thing is, there's a word called elicit. In the business analyst world, we use the word elicit a lot, which means nothing but capturing requirements. So we use the word elicit a lot. So now you're capturing, based on the problem statement, you're capturing functional requirements from the user point of view, what kind of users want, based on the problem statement we want, what are the users functionalities we can give to solve them. A lot of guys told me a lot of system level of requirements also. Then we have non-functional requirements. What kind of features can we build? We talked about. And in an agile framework, we also document something called user stories and acceptance criteria. User stories is nothing but the way of functional requirement. We talk document requirement from the user point of view. All right. Then we talk about acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria means what kind of features we can have to satisfy the users to complete this transaction. When you're looking at the analysis activities, when you go into a new problem statement, when you're approaching, you want to understand the current business process first for you to give a solution. Remember, we talked about, we were in the beginning of the business case, I asked you, what is a problem statement? Okay, so for that, we do an analysis activity. There are UML diagrams, like process flow diagrams, which we will be doing practically, will help you understand what is the current state. Okay, based on the solution proposed, we know the future state. Then we got to understand what will you take from your current state to future state. So some of them said it's a manual process. Some of them said we want to have a mobile app. That's a future state. So how do we get there? It's what the solution we have to focus. So we need to capture that. We got to do a gap analysis. What is the gap? What we need to highlight the key differences between the current system to a desired solution. As a BA, you always have to think, where are we now? What is the business problem we have? How are we going to solve this? And what kind of solution my team is deciding? And how am I going to get how are we going to provide the desired solution? How the future system should look like? The mobile app should look like? Are we having all the features which we talked about, where we can complete the action items the users are trying to do? That is the desired solution. So we want to have a gap analysis. Then now, once we are deciding to go to build a system, we want to see how the user interface looks like. Now we are creating wireframes. We will be doing these practicals. You're creating a small sketch how the user interface should look like, and the design team will get an understanding. We're getting a validation from the user community that, hey, we are going to build a user mobile app, and based on what you told us, I've created a small wireframe, a mock-up diagram. Can you please tell me, is this how you want your web page to look like? All these features, the logo will look like this. This is where we're going to have a drop down to book the appointment. This is where all these features will come. And the client says, these are the meetings you'll be going back and forth. As a BA, you're spending a lot of time in meetings, and because you're trying to validate the requirements over and again, you want to validate to make sure we have the right designs. We want to validate we have all the functionality we have captured. We want to make sure that the user, the stakeholder community is on board, is in sync with you. Okay, that's very important. Then we also, once we have analyzed the requirements, we start documenting it. Okay, business requirement document, we still use it in many projects. It's a fantastic document, which is a live document, which is a repository of various details, different kinds of requirements and everything. We're going to practically do that in this training. It's very important. As a BA, you go to an interview, you have never done a BA day, you're in trouble. So we don't want to do that. And when we do a risk assessment, when we do a problem statement, always understand the risk assessment. We want to understand what are the possibilities, and when we look at a risk, it's a bit detailed conversation, we look into it, but we want to see what kind of challenges we have in finding this solution for the client. What kind of business rules affecting us? Are there kind of regulations in the healthcare industry which can affect us? So we are looking at from the regulation point of view, we are looking from the technology point of view, constraints, risk, everything. Okay, and are you knowledgeable to do it? Maybe not. So with the whole team coming together, it's a group activity, guys. The whole team will engage in making sure, in validating we have the right requirement. It's a beautiful process. So once you've done that, okay, we will know, how are we going to, how much time will it take for the user to do this activity? We're talking about how fast the user interface should work. What operating system do you want to use it? What kind of database you want to use it? Because we want to make sure It's very user-friendly, and the user is extremely satisfied by using it. Should not be cumbersome. There are deliverables, like, we understood the stakeholders, so we do something called stakeholder matrix. We will go on to look into that. We have a bunch of requirements list. We have functional requirements, technical requirements, user interface requirements. Usually we capture it in a waterfall methodology, which is our software development life cycles. We do a lot of process flow diagrams, like I said, UML diagrams, we call it. So we'll be doing a lot of diagrams, a lot of activities, really to understand how to decipher a business problem, because a good 70% of your work is in the discovery phase, requirements documentation phase, and making sure the requirements are refined and documented, okay, and then delivered. All right. So that's all I wanted to discuss today. So guys, how was the session today? Are you learning something? Randy, Mamadou, Kenneth, Ali, Ronald, Deepak, Angelina, Srividya, Shritaram, Addy, Nikki, Faith, Anikin, Neharika. Are you guys learning something? All right. I'm glad you're learning.
Great session, very informative.
Thank you, Eddie. See, what I want to tell you is one of the reasons why most of my students will see self in them in a job, because we are doing a real-time understanding over here. We are not going through the book. We're not here to complete a certification. We are here to get a job. Our job is to get a job. That's what I hear. I'm not here to waste your time nor your money. If you're here, I want to tell you there is no plan B. There is only plan A. Plan A is to become an IT consultant. That's it. Do not have a plan B. If your plan B, it'll affect your success. All right, I've done it. I have moved from a non-IT job to an IT job. It's 10 years now. And, I'm blessed because of the right career choices we made. All right. And I'm also a system-specific guideware consultant. I specialize on a system called guideware. So I encourage you to say, when most of my friends remained in banking sector, insurance sector, whatever, I went after the technology. And believe me, I was not wrong. In all of Canada, we only have 300 consultants who know guideware technology. I'm one of them. I never had issues getting a job. And I wish the same for you. What I want to tell you, the next type of activities is the next training is coming up on Friday. It's a third complimentary training. I'm doing these trainings for you to understand that you choose your right training company. It's very important, because going into an IT career, it can get daunting if you do not know what to study, how to prepare, and how to navigate into the job market. And I'm an expert in it. I can help you. So you're going to get the recordings tomorrow morning from Thea, and it might land into your spam. Please watch out. You will be notified in SMS that it has been sent out to you. And the next session is on Friday. We'll come back again. We're going to learn analysis techniques and a lot of deeper concept. But I want to tell you something. I'm not in a rush to teach you. You're moving into a new career. It's a 6-figure paycheck. You can't just do it like that in 2 weeks, 2 months, okay? If I think I need to teach you more, I might take 2 more weeks. My goal is I need to get satisfied that I teach you enough. So I want your patience, okay? This is not a sprint. It's a marathon, guys. Please, I want to tell you, the more reality we understand, we can move to this career. Okay, and I'll give you the most real feature, how you need to think about it. I'll guide you, but it's not like me training and it's enough for you to get a job. It doesn't work that way. You need to put a lot of work into it. You got to study. You got to learn the tools. You got to use the framework. You got to learn how to do the requirements. You got to learn the Scrum framework. You got to learn tools like Balsamiq, Jira, Lucid Chart. Okay, and we're going to go into learn ServiceNow platform. There's a lot of learning to be done. We're going to get that 6-figure paycheck job easily. I want to make it easy for you, but you got to follow my steps. For the guys who are already from the technology side, you may not need BA job. You can directly move to ServiceNow. I want to have these conversations with you, because if you're already trained into BA, you don't need to be here. You got to be you need to upgrade. You need to be in upgraded sessions. I will have those educated conversations with you. And this program is only for people who are in US and Canada. Okay, so phase 1 is BA training, phase 2 is ServiceNow training, and phase 3 is certification. Then we get your projects, resume, interview questions, and everything, and we'll help you launch you into the job market. Okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions before I close today? I'm sorry, you're not audible, Mamadou?
I'm
Sorry,
not sure
did
he's
you ask
talking to you.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought you were talking to me.
yes,
Okay, then.
it's actually me that I raised my hand. Oh, Sadiq. So quick one. When the program starts proper, what is the schedule like?
Sorry, what is the what?
What is the schedule? The training
Okay,
schedule.
the schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Okay. I do want to tell you I'm a working consultant. I work in the day and I do training in the evening. Okay.
Oh,
There
okay.
are there are days my project might get work can get extended. I might have a deliverable next day which I need to close by evening. You will understand when you are a real-time consultant. Those are the days I might skip it and I do it. I will do 3 sessions in a week. I'll compensate it somehow. But you might want to pardon me. Sometimes I might catch up work, then I will do compensate it the following day or something like that. Sometimes I know that there is a deployment going on. I'm going to be working the whole weekend. So we might just continuously come 3 days and finish the topics for the week. And I'll give you a massive homework, a lot of work. It's gonna be very engaging. You're not gonna be sitting easy. You're gonna be learning all the time. All right. So that's how it's gonna go.
So
Okay.
just be a little bit curious. How many hours are we supposed to expense every week?
Oh, we are looking at a 6 hour training. I can even do 4 or 5 hour sessions, five sessions in a week, but I don't choose to do it because a lot of people are from non-IT background. It can be very overwhelming because even what I'm teaching, it's very heavy. See, today in the second session, we're already talking 2 hours. So some of the topics can be very heavy. You need time to process and understand. It's like a jigsaw puzzle in the beginning, in the mind.
Okay.
Some people
Okay.
can pick it up easily. Some people it's very complicated. I know that
Yeah.
because I've done it myself. So I want to take it easy. 3 sessions a week, 2 months, 2 months and 2 weeks. It could be a good time for you to get 0 to 100. Okay.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I do not want to wait
And
more.
I'm going to book an appointment for a one-on-one chat. I don't know when that's going to be.
Okay.
So I don't know.
What you can do is what I can do is tomorrow when you send an email, I will also send my Calendly link in it, and you can use that to book an appointment with me.
Okay, that's fine.
Please book an appointment anytime before 5 p.m.
Okay,
EST.
that's fine. That's fine.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. You guys have been an amazing, amazing audience. You guys are so good. I'm already liking you guys. And see you guys back on Friday and have a great night. Thank you,
All right.
guys. Good night.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.